Welcome back. I'm Dr. Megan Teed. I'm so glad that you're here for another episode of Ahead of the Curve. Little life update. This week is Heritage Week in Hilton Head. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you're not into golf at all, or if you don't live in Bluffton or Hilton Head, South Carolina, we are hosting, every year we host a big golf tournament in our town, city, whatever you want to call it. So that's happening right now. If you don't know, my husband is a golf professional, and this is just a big deal for our community. It brings a lot of people to the community, which is great for small businesses. And people get to experience a little slice of where we live. And we're pretty proud of Bluffton and Hilton Head. It's just a beautiful place, a beautiful community, and people are really friendly. So that is currently happening this week. And this weekend, we're hoping to either go and view the tournament from foot. We also have the chance to go out on a boat and watch it from one of Mark's friends. My husband is Mark. One of his friends invited us to possibly go on their boat tomorrow and watch the tournament. So pretty excited about that. Weather's warming up here and I'm so ready for it. I'm a warm weather person. That's why I moved to South Carolina. I grew up in Pennsylvania and I do not miss the cold at all. It's just, ugh. So if you like the cold, that's great for you. But I'm really happy that I live somewhere where it's summer most year round. So that's what's happening in my world. Today, we're going to be talking about the value of a scoliosis community. And I am really passionate about this because so many people have felt alone in their scoliosis journey. And if that's you, this episode is for you. A lot of times people come to me when they're looking for help with their scoliosis, and they're like, I don't know a single person who has scoliosis. My parents don't have it, my friends, my siblings, it's just me. And it can feel super isolating and lonely being in that scenario. And kind of like layering on top of that, sometimes when you feel alone in it, you start to pretend like everything's okay. I was actually listening to a podcast episode about actually like spiritual things. I'm a Christian, and they were talking about this from a Christian perspective, in that it's really important to get connected in a community just for healthy healing spiritually. So, when you're isolating yourself in that scenario, again, it's really easy to pretend like everything's okay and put on this front, this act like you have it all together, when in reality, everybody has stuff that they struggle with. So when you become part of a community and then you are able to be vulnerable in that community and share what you're possibly struggling with, then you open the door to allow healing to occur. And it's the same thing with scoliosis. It's the same thing when you are feeling isolated, you are around your family members, you're out to dinner, and even though you're sitting there and you're suffering in pain, and you're distracted by that pain, you just pretend like everything's okay because you want to fit in, you want to just kind of be like everybody else, and you are trying to enjoy yourself, but you can't because you are struggling with this physical discomfort. But when you find a scoliosis community, like a group program, you're able to, once you feel comfortable, be vulnerable and share your struggle. And once you share that struggle with the people in the community, you open the door for somebody else to share their experience and give you some insight where you might have a blind spot. And that's not necessarily the person that's running the community or running the group program. It could be from just a fellow scoliosis sufferer. I don't like saying sufferer, a warrior, person, somebody that has scoliosis. So I think that element is probably one of the very most important elements of a scoliosis community. One of the best benefits of being part of a community where there's other people that are in the same boat as you, the same scenario as you. And that's, kind of the reason that I started up my small group coaching program. So when I initially opened my business, I was working one-on-one with people primarily in a private capacity because, one, it was easier for me. I only had one person that I was needing to look at and needing to correct. It was just an easier programming type of thing for me to put exercises together for one person. But over and over again, I started to see the need for small group coaching, a small group program. So, once I did some trial and error, I was able to come up with a system that was helpful for people. And I created the small group coaching so that other people could meet people who are in the same boat as them, who have scoliosis, who have been afraid to exercise because they keep getting injured when they try to work it out on their own, or they try and Google it or search YouTube for exercises. And it's been really nice. So, the way that it works, we meet together once a week. It's a rolling admission. So when somebody comes into the program, they don't necessarily have a specific start date. It's not like I have a cohort of people who all start together and all finish together. And there's people that are at all different phases within the program, which is really cool because you have someone, obviously there had to be a beginning group where everybody was everybody was a beginner. But now we're at the point almost 2 years in where there's people that are at all different points. So you have somebody just beginning the program, and then you have another person who's on week 20 and they're about to finish. The person that's about to finish is able to speak to the person that's just beginning and might feel super overwhelmed and maybe a little bit frustrated in the beginning that they're not seeing like really fast results. Person on week 20 can tell person at week 1 to hang in there and to tell them their experience with how long it took them to begin to feel changes and feel differences, and help them have a little bit more hope to hang in there and just continue on. So that encouragement aspect is huge. And like I was saying kind of before about that podcast I was listening to, when you're in a group of people who get it, they understand what it's like living with scoliosis. They understand if you are searching for a dress or an outfit for, a fancy occasion, and you're having a hard time figuring out or finding something that works for your curve, that you want something that's flattering, but still can kind of give you a little bit of it can kind of, why can't I think of the word? Isn't it so weird sometimes how you can't find the word for something? Camouflage. Thank you. Thank you, brain. Thank you, God. It can kind of camouflage your curve a little bit, so it maybe isn't so obvious to you, because I think we're all our own worst critics, and we notice our curve, we notice our imbalances, our posture things more than anybody else in our life does. And we're, toughest on ourselves. But, if that is something that you really notice and you want to camouflage to feel confident, go for it. All of that to say, when you're in that community with people who get it, you can be like, hey, is there a specific brand that you really like that you can recommend? I'm like searching for this, that, or the other. And then people can jump in and give their recommendations. And that's actually happened in one of my group classes. And then, we can even laugh together about just silly things that only people that with scoliosis can understand or get. Just when you have something where you have like your bra and your bra is just slipping off of one shoulder because of the imbalance of your shoulders, just little things like that. That can get a bit more enjoyable, a bit more tolerable, and can help you to just have a bit more hope and fun with your scoliosis journey, instead of it feeling like such a struggle day in and day out. You can have something to look forward to every week when you get connected with your group, where you're able to share your experiences and share your journey with people who understand you. And there's something that's just very healing about that. And the other thing that's really neat that ends up happening is through getting connected with other people that have scoliosis, they may have resources for you that you wouldn't be able to find on your own. And when it's a resource coming from somebody who's in the same boat as you, who basically is giving you a review of their experience with whatever it is that, they're sharing with you, that is invaluable. That's why I joined a business coaching program. I mean, I'm getting the most value out of that because I have a coach, and then I have other people in that group that I can say, hey, I am looking for a copywriter, or I'm looking for a virtual assistant. And instead of me going on the internet and trying to sort through what is actually a legit service and a really good product, I can just go to this group and have people who have used it tell me, or, a person that they recommend that it has been really helpful for them. They can tell me, who they recommend me to work with. And I think that in and of itself has, more than paid for my investment in my business coaching program. So it's, things like that it's like layer upon layer that you join this program. Most people join because they want to understand their curve. They want to get exercises that are specific to them and their curve. It's awesome. You're going to get that. But once you're in the program for a little while, you'll just begin to see all the other added layers of benefit to being in that program. And, it can be really life-changing and healing and profound for you. So a couple other things, in addition to getting connected and in addition to being with people who get it, you can get some expert advice from people who are experienced professionals in the scoliosis field, or even just the pain field, medical field. I provide a monthly Q&A, and something that's kind of new that I'm trying to incorporate in is featuring a person, an expert who, maybe they're an expert in the scoliosis field, but like for instance, this upcoming month, I'm looking to have a pain specialist come in for the Q&A, and they'll do a little presentation, and then my clients can come with their own questions with things that might be a little bit more specific to them. Me personally, I really enjoy learning, if you haven't picked up on that yet. So I'm continuously looking for additional options to help my patients in their journey, and also to help myself. Having scoliosis myself, I can understand, the frustrations of only feeling like you have a very limited amount of options to help yourself. And the more different ways that we can tackle the pain that you're experiencing, or the imbalances that you notice in your posture, the better. So I like to, continue to develop my program. It's not static. I'm always layering in things that I'm learning from other experts in the movement field, other experts in the pain science field, and incorporating that into what I offer my clients, so that, it's just an ever evolving product. It's not the same as it was 2 years ago. It has elements of things that I've learned from my Schroth training, from my Pilates for Scoliosis training, from Stop Chasing Pain, from the movement rev. I'm just constantly trying to put things together in a comprehensive package that is condensed. And if it's been effective for myself, it's been effective for my clients. And yeah. So that is in addition to the exercises that I'm giving that are tailored and suited for my clients. I have in addition to the weekly sessions where we meet together as a group, you also get a home exercise video in between the sessions to follow along with. And that is really essential to you feeling and experiencing the changes in your curve, in your pain levels, in your posture, the way that you're holding yourself throughout the day. And that can also be kind of fun as well. You just feel the changes over time. And then we meet together midway through. We do a reassessment. We take some photos, reassessment photos again, go over those and compare them to when you started. And you can physically see the changes happening in your spine. And sometimes it's just super surprising. You are looking at your spine every single day in the mirror, and the change is slowly that you're like, is anything happening? But when you see a comparison photo from month 1 or day 1 compared to month 3, and then finally month 6, and see those side by side, that's when you're able to really see the tremendous difference in the curve, in the way that your muscles are formed. You kind of fill in the empty spaces a bit with the density of your muscles. As you derotate, things become a bit more balanced in the appearance. So that's like a very neat thing that you may not track if you're trying to work this out on your own. So in conclusion, understanding the value of connecting with a supportive scoliosis community and leveraging its collective knowledge is essential. It's so important. And I think that, if you can find a community that works for you, I think that finding a person that you trust, a form of exercise that you like to do is really important. So if you are interested in possibly exploring what it would be like to work together in the small group coaching format, I have a link in my bio. You can click there and schedule a discovery call. We'll chat. It's free. It's half an hour long. And you can tell me about what's going on with your spine, your scoliosis, what your goals are. And we'll talk and see if it might be a good fit to work together. If it's not, I'm hoping to, help point you in the direction that you are looking to go, that is in alignment with the goals that you've set. And so let me know if you want to do that. Click the link in the bio. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ahead of the Curve. I hope you found the information and insights shared today helpful in your journey with scoliosis. Join us again next time for more discussions on living with scoliosis and ways to support those with this condition. Until then, take care and stay ahead of the curve.